Hello, everybody. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negro. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions. But not everyone uses logic. So for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I also want to let everybody know that the subscriber mode has been enabled, meaning that if you're not a subscriber, if you wish to enter a comment, you need to subscribe to the channel. I would like to start by giving a huge shout out to all those who already subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for all the love and support. Also, want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media. And I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices, whether it be live or on the playback. So, what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. If you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. Now, before we get into the topic in question, there's one thing I have to clarify. I already stated this earlier today on Golden Spear Folk, but it's stated right here now. I understand that certain YouTube creators or certain people have beefs with other creators for whatever reason, and of course, everyone feels justified in their actions. And if you want to go and attack each other on your own platforms or on other platforms, by all means, do it to your heart's content. What I'm going to ask is the following. Please do not bring your beefs to this platform. Okay. I'm not here to referee. I'm here to produce a live call-in show. Okay. Also, I'm going to ask the following. Whenever you address anybody, even those who you have beefs with, kindly address them with their proper YouTube names. Um, Regardless who it might be. Okay. Now, if I can't do that to those individuals who I have beefs with, if I can address people, but those people, I'm going to ask that everybody else do the same. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, I'm not trying to create a fake kumbaya mood. What I'm trying to do is create a safe environment so everyone can express their point of view. Okay. The link is the link to join the panel is in the chat. So now, after all that said and done, we're going to get into the main topic. As you can tell by the thumbnail, hello? Hello? As you can tell by the thumbnail, the topic for today is let the circus be the circus. It is a phrase that I've been using quite a bit lately. Um, as I illustrated earlier today, I cannot take credit for this phrase. Actually, the one that originally coined was my dear friend and cyber daughter, Denise Gonzalez. Okay. Now, why are we discussing this topic? I We have all seen in these YouTube streets a lot of crazy behavior, a lot of stupid behavior, a lot of insane behavior. We have seen people go off and arguing regarding beefs, regarding such things as certain names and not be identified. We have had people who try to regulate how people should conduct themselves and other people's platforms. We have had other people talked about that we should invite certain people on their platforms and on and on and on. And of course, I'm going to give my opinion on the subject. So this is more like a discussion, but it's going to be centered on um, this topic. Now, the first thing I want to discuss is the fact. Of course, um, we have heard from certain members of the FBA and ADOS community who constantly attack Latinos and how we need to return to our countries of origin, and that the FBAs and the ADOS and only they were the ones that were responsible for building this country up and creating what this country is today. Now, don't get me wrong. The African American community has played a huge role in the development of this country, albeit a large portion of it through the period of enslavement, which lasted in the United States for 250 years, and in some parts of Latin and South America for 300 years. And then the African American community had to deal with Jim Crow laws and segregation and things of that nature. On top of that, when they were brought here as slaves, they were deprived of their dignity, they was deprived of their culture, they was denied of everything that makes them unique. And of course, one thing that I do admire, among many things about the African American community, is their spirit of preservation and how they have managed to overachieve many hardships. Nevertheless, you have certain members of the FBA and ADOS community who target Latinos, who say racist thing about Latinos, and are so quick to denounce every single wrong that a Latinos commit. However, when it comes to pointing out that some of the African American community have performed, all of a sudden it's a different ball game. Oh, it's the result of racism. Oh, it's a result of this. It's a result of that. One thing that we all have to bear in mind: if you're going to cast a light on the evils of then you need to be prepared to have that shown on some of the bad apples within your community as well. As I said this before, and I'm going to say it again, there are good and bad in every single. Personally know many um, of the African American community who are upright, righteous people, who they're productive, they work hard, they are a pillar in their communities. And yes, there are bad apples in the African American community. Yes, there are racist people in the Latino community. The difference is among us, we tend for the most part to to cast a light on them and try to correct their actions and make it clear that the racist ones do not speak for all of us. Of course, people will believe what they wish. They will hear what they want to hear. And all we can do is to share the truth. If they don't want to accept the truth, that's up to them. And unfortunately, there are people in every community that prey on the disadvantages and the trials and tribulations that other communities go through. Okay. Um, so let's get off that segment. Another area where we get into a big problem is this identity crisis. And I've seen this on multiple platforms. Okay. Particularly, okay, when it comes to uh, people trying to gatekeep and make a determination on who they are. With all due respect to those who tend to do this, if you are not there when the person that you are criticizing was being born, what right do you have to talk about where they came from, who and how to determine what is their identity? I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Everybody, and I repeat, everybody has the right to self identify as they see fit. And here on this platform, I'm not going to be doing an identity check. If you claim to be mixed, as far as I'm concerned, you're mixed. If you claim to be Dominican, then you're Dominican. Be a Caribbean Latino, then that's what you are. I'm not going to ask for papers. I'm not going to ask for documentation to verify who you are. Now, I do appreciate the fact that there's currently 9 people watching the stream. I would appreciate it if you hit the like button as you come in. This is more like an open discussion. And I see we got Gigi in the house. Good evening, Gigi. Thank you very much for stopping by. And before I forget, I want to remind everyone that Gigi has her own platforms. And she also performed a podcast with Multi called T with Multi and Gigi. So I'm going to ask that if you've not done so, please consider checking out her platforms and check out her podcast. I think you're going to find it very interesting. And she does, contrary to what some people like to think, she does produce some interesting and quality content, and she just recently become monetized. So as always, Gigi, a huge shout out to you. You're quite well. You're quite welcome. And like I said, let the circus be the circus. Okay. Um, but the fact of the matter is, we have people who are constantly arguing with others regarding self identity. Okay. And again, it's getting to be kind of old. It's getting to be kind of, and unfortunately, we have seen this on my platform a couple of times by certain individuals. And my point is this: um, other than saying "gotcha," what is the point of trying to gatekeep who they are? If they claim claim, if they say they're one thing, that they're one thing. If they claim to be mixed, they are mixed. If they claim to be Dominican, they're Dominican. If they claim to be uh, MGM and what have you, that's who they are. Now, the next thing we're going to get into is this whole conflict regarding the names. In my 60 years of life, I never thought that we would be having arguments over terminology. Unfortunately, here in these YouTube streets, we have seen it. We have seen people react negatively to the term mulatto. We have heard people react negatively to the term MGM. We have heard people react negatively to the term Blasian. We have heard people react negativity to the term golden spear. We have people who react negativity being called biracial, multiracial, mixed, um, and so on and so forth. I am not going to lie. I have had some time struggling with some of the terminology, some of the terms, and some of the names. And my main concern is that I don't wish to offend anybody out of ignorance, okay? Because unfortunately, you have certain names and certain terms that have the reputation to be used in a negative light. A perfect example is mulatto. Now, depending on who you say it to and in what sense, it can be a negative term or a positive term. Also, the term biracial. Some people even refer to the term biracial in a negative sense because it's too ambiguous. And of course, there are people who object to the term being called black because there's no such thing as a black line. And then you have certain people who object to the term for American. And then you have another term within the Latino community called Latinx. Um, I have never been a fan of the term Latinx, but if that's how you wish to identify yourself, by all means, no problem. Knock yourself out. Another term that people can get turned off on is Afro Latino because what that does, it focuses on the African influence. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. And we also have the 18th letter. Good evening, Rakim. I hope that you're doing well. I just want to let everybody know that Rakim also has a YouTube channel, and I'm going to ask that you check out his content. Now, I know it's been a while since he's been able to do content. Hopefully, he will show some content real soon. But I'm going to ask you to please support his channel. Um, and then in the LGBTQ community, you also have the term which is called queer, okay? Which, depending on who and what circumstances, it can be taken in a negative light or a positive light. I guess it all depends on what is the intention. Um, and then when it comes to um, the biracial and multiracial community, Um, people don't really understand who they are, and they see somebody infighting going on, and then they have their own beliefs and what have you. Um, and unfortunately, there's been trauma always seems to follow individuality. What I want people to understand that there's a lot of great people among the biracial and multiracial. I've been privileged to interact with many of them, and there have been many of them have been supporters of my channel, which I really do appreciate very much. And unfortunately, there's been some noise going on, and yes, you're absolutely right, Gigi. No one should try to police anybody else's content. I agree. I agree. Unfortunately, some people they don't understand that. Now, one thing I always bear in mind is this: when I go into another platform, okay, I have to accept the fact that I'm going to be governed with whatever rules and guidelines the creator has created on their platform. And I see that Irby is in the chat. Good evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. Yeah. And another thing that boggles my mind, that there's certain people that trying to dictate who they should allow on their platform and who not to allow. Okay. I mean, I have seen on a couple of occasions where certain persons in these YouTube streets has gotten upset because of the fact they allow certain people onto their platforms. Okay. I don't know how. I don't know how many ways I can say this, but the fact of the matter is this: no one should try to govern another person's platform. No one should govern who they allow on their platform. Okay? And I wish some of these people who are doing this would try to understand this. So it doesn't work well. Okay, number one. Number two, what it does, it creates a great deal because unfortunately you have certain individuals that try to gatekeep in as far as who they let in their platforms and who they not on their platforms. Another problem that I see in these YouTube streets is that they expect certain people to conduct themselves in a certain way. Now I know my platform when I'm doing my streams, I do things a certain way. Okay, I try to create a safe environment so everyone can express their point of view. I generally don't censor people. The only thing I ask is people be respectful. Okay. Now, when it comes to me going on other platforms, I have to abide by the rules and the guidelines that the creator has has put into place. Okay. Now I have been on multiple platforms. Okay. Okay. Um, Radical Latino runs his platform one way. Denise Gonzalez runs her platform another way. Gigi runs her platform her way. Multi runs her platform her way. The introvert political runs his platform one way. The 18, I mean, in plain short English, every other YouTube creator run the government platform as they see fit. Okay. All I ask when I go into another platform is that just make sure that everyone plays nice. Okay. And if they can, then I'll just okay. But this whole business of you cannot let the certain people on the platform. You got to do things this way. You got to do things, which is like it's so 2022. Okay. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the term 2022, it's in the past. Okay. You cannot operate in the past. You operate in the present, you operate in the now. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link again. Just give me a moment. If anyone wishes to join the panel, they're more than welcome to do so. If anyone just want to enter a comment, that's fine. Okay. So this is not one of my. This is not a structured format. This is more like a general discussion because I have certain things that are on my mind. Okay. Now, I did have what Motorbot's recent stream, which he called it a smoke stream, which of course he aired his point of view regarding certain individuals, and then you had the Owl Show who come on and express his point of view. I don't agree with their point of view, but they have every right to express their point of view. Okay. One thing I am not going to permit, okay, I am not going to permit anyone addressing anyone in a negative sense. Okay. Well, you know what, Irby, you're more than welcome anyway. And it's just that this is not so much of a formal live stream. It's more like I got a few things that's on my mind. I want to get off my chest. Now, one thing I am gonna do. Should the L show appear on my platform, I'm gonna ask addressing Gigi and Multi other than who they are. Okay. I am not going to repeat the terminology that they refer to these ladies. And I know that they have their haters, and they are haters because they are both successful and their platforms. Do I agree with them 100%? No. They don't agree with me 100%. But you know what? That makes it special. That makes it unique. Excuse me. Okay, so it's just that when people decide to spend hours, and I mean hours, with the same beefs again and again and again, it's getting old. It's getting stale. Okay. And it's so 2022. And I mean it. It is so 2022. First of all, there are more important things to discuss. Okay. Um, and there's a war. I mean, look, there is. Okay. Gigi made an interesting point. Okay. Which is no one is going to agree on everything act like this is a call for real. I mean, yeah. And one thing that I have done made it perfectly clear: this is not an echo chamber. Okay, people are allowed to disagree with me and keep it respectable. Okay, and the fact of the matter is, we can be agreeable when we disagree. This is not like an echo chamber. Unfortunately, you have certain YouTube creators who cannot deal with opposition of views. You cannot, the certain YouTube creators cannot accept independent thought. And if they say anything that's against the narrative, people get upset. Okay. However, I am not going to indicate who's. Uh, I think it's clear as far as who they are. Okay. And I think it's clear regarding what I on this platform. Okay. But the whole idea that certain people should not go to other sectors, I mean, why? Why? Because they're afraid they might meet new friends. They're afraid they might learn something new. I mean, are we so sensitive that we cannot deal with when an opposing thought? Really? I mean, I find it humorous. I mean, it would be humorous in a way if it just go on once in a while. Okay. And some of the names that people call each other, they are humorous. I'm not going to repeat it here. I mean, because I don't want to become another soul channel. I mean, with all the craziness that's going on, I can easily um, spread some smoke. That's never been my way. Okay, what I have been doing for the last year and a half is to create a discussion channel where everyone can share their point of view in a safe environment, and whether it be regarding feminism with the LGBTQ community, whether it be how people should conduct themselves in the workplace. Yeah, yeah. I have to admit, Gigi, that is so true. And I've come up with a few names as well, but I'm trying not to, because heaven knows, people. I mean, some of these people have given me so much ammo to use, but I'm trying to. I'm just trying to keep it classy, okay? Maybe another time trying to get a little ratchet. No, not here. But when I see certain individuals that their entire platform is divulged, is devoted to attacking one person or a group of people. Unfortunately, that says a great deal of negativity regarding that individual. Now, of course, people will say about the reason why they do this because they're being attacked and what have you. With all due respect, if you're going to dish it, you have better learn how to take it. If you're not willing to take it, then don't indulge in the bashing. It is that simple. And I'm a little disappointed because so far there's only 2 likes here. So if we can just do a little bit better next department, I really would appreciate it. But it's just that I find it odd, all this silliness. Okay, and that's the reason why I have the phrase "Let the circus be the circus." Okay. Oh dear Lord. But but look, also is um the fact of the matter is all this silliness is getting very old. Okay. And depending who you listen to, you was you will swear up and down, you know, that you go to one person, oh, it's G's fault for all this. It's the Maltese fault. And if you go, it's like, look. Ah, Gigi, I love you very much. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But you know what? I really would appreciate, getting a couple more likes. Okay. Now I know I'm not, you know, like somebody other YouTube creators. Okay, even like Fred Rogers of YouTube. I'm just trying to bring some sanity to the crazy. Okay, which reminds me of another phrase. Don't expect me to explain the crazy. Okay. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with that term, don't ask me to explain crazy. It's my attempt to discuss things that um I have no explanation, that have no okay. Now, one thing we have to bear in mind, you can't expect logic from certain individuals in these YouTube streams. You cannot expect reasoning from some of these people on the YouTube streets. Okay. And all I'm trying to do, okay, well, DG, I understand. Okay. But now I understand that Multi has a stream tonight. I'm going to see if I can hop on that if Multi says it's okay. Okay, because I will be working again tonight. Okay, which brings me to another point. Instead of trying to do something constructive with themselves, like maybe create some actual content for their followers, they're beefing. And they're beefing about the same people all the time. And we've been through this in 2023. But you know what? All I can say for these people, bless their hearts. Okay? I mean, at times it's funny. Okay? It's funny when you see the same people obsessing over the same people again, again, and again. And I find it hilarious when people get on these loud arguments regarding all these terms. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I actually asked, okay, now I think we have a guest. So I just want to let everybody know that the views of those who appear on the panel are not necessarily those of the host nor the channel. Any attempt to copy the material without the by appearing on the call, you waive your rights to your image. People at home may be considered offensive to some people. If you do not like the content, you can block the channel. See what our guests have to say.
Hello, what's up?
Hello, Irby.
What's up?
Hey, how you doing today?
Man, I'm just fine, just chilling, just got out of
Well, I'm
work.
cool. Okay. Well, the topic for today is
Oh, you can hear me?
and
Hold up. Shit.
basically the reason why we're getting into discussing because um, all the drama that's being created and all the fake drama that's being created, and I'm sure you have a point of view. Okay, I don't know. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna uh, hopefully Irby can okay. Hopefully Irby can um address his audio problem. Until then, I'm just going to continue to have a discussion. But to be perfectly honest, I never thought that I would be devoting a stream to this topic. But when I see people constantly repeating the same talking points over and over again, it's getting old, it's getting stale. Okay. And my question to these people who love to keep repeating the same talking points, when are you ever going to actually create content? Okay. When are you going to do other than a reaction video? When are you actually going to try to do something to edify the community that you claim that you represent? What that community may be. And of course, one argument that we do hear is that people don't want mulattoes that have their own space. I actually believe that they do need their own space. They need to express those issues in an environment where it fosters growth, where it fosters discussion. Unfortunately, sometimes what people do that in creating their own separate community, they attack others. Okay, and whether simply because they don't belong or they're not a part of that community. Okay, and you do need allies from time to time. Now, it doesn't mean that you surrender everything to those allies. But when you do have people who may not be a part okay. My apologies. Now earlier to okay. Now let's see if we can bring Irby back.
What's up?
Okay, no, boy, I gotta get a new computer.
What's up, Jose?
Okay.
You can hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, I hear you. What's up? What's up? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, what's up? There's nothing. Just wanted to come on. A lot going on these YouTube streets out here today on a Saturday. So what's going on?
Okay. No, I'm just talking about some of the silliness that's been happening in these in these youth streets. Not just here, not just here with the mixed community, but in these YouTube streets in general. So of course you've been hearing all the stuff that's been going on between Gigi and the L Show.
Yeah.
I mean, I happen to do watch Melanta Vanguard's smoke stream, and of
Oh, you
course
didn't see the
they
meet?
portray their point of view, which I totally disagree, but they have a right to discuss their point of view. But but what's your point of view regarding this whole situation?
What's my point of view? They over here making memes about me. All of them. They all attacking me. You haven't seen the memes?
Yeah, thing that I want to make it perfectly clear.
Yeah. They all clowns
Now,
in my opinion. They all clowns in my opinion.
no,
All of them are clowns.
yeah, yeah, okay. Well, I'm just trying to say, I was taught that if you don't have something nice to say about a person, you don't say anything at all.
Nah, they all talking shit. They've been talking shit about me too. So fuck all of them. They all clowns in my opinion. A whole bunch of incels. Don't got nothing better else to do.
Yeah, I know. Well, they talk about me as well, and they love. Okay, they love to talk about that I'm an old, white, senile man. First of all, I'm not white. I'm Latino. Number two, I'm not lonely. Okay?
We
I
all know that,
actually
Jose.
had a core community before I got involved with the mixed community. Okay, and unlike a certain an individual whose platform had to be deleted because of violation, my platform is growing. And not only that, I created a new channel to try to deal with mixed issues with mixed people have. And I'm doing all of that plus working 40 hours of overtime every week. Okay. So I'm doing more myself than all these so called creators do combine. Okay. And I see here we have Magic Mulata. Good evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. Okay. But yeah, I noticed I noticed that they've been attacking you.
Why you think why, Jose?
You know what? I wish I knew the reason why. Um, that's that's the reason why with the phrase "let the circus be the circus." In other words, the people want to act like fools, like fools. I'm going to focus on being the best version of myself, and I'm sure what you focus is being the best version of yourself.
Of course. I don't know them like in reality, let's be real. In real life, none of them can really say the shit to my face, really. So that's why I just look at it as a joke. Like they're just like a bunch of little incels just playing video games online. Or like in real life, they can't really say the shit to my face. So I ain't worrying about
I
it.
just want to acknowledge the fact that Anthony is in the chat. Good evening. Okay, I'm sorry. I just want to. Okay. Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Anthony, for stopping, for coming into the chat. But when everything is said and done, people will hate, and particularly once you are putting in the work and it's growing, you're gonna have more haters.
You would have thought I had a channel the way they're attacking me. But let's be honest. If you're cool with GGMOT, if you're cool with GGMOT, they have a problem with that.
Okay, but you know what? When everything look, I know I have said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. Okay, if you're cool with me, and the bottom line is this: I am doing my best to create the best product I can make. That's my bottom line. And I cannot be worried if people say whatever. In fact, if anything, I'm not going to respond to what other my haters say. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, the more people, the more try, the more advertising I'm getting, which is something I which is something I wish.
Gigi's over here throwing shots tonight, boy.
Okay, okay, that's you know
Pull up,
what?
Gigi.
Look, guys, let's try to be
Pull up.
civil. No, actually, no, no, Gigi, no, actually, Gigi said that she's not able, and you know what? And I appreciate her stopping by. I appreciate anyone that stops by. Okay, because I'm not gonna like Gabe, but I swear this whole business
We
of
outside.
trying to determine where people can. Okay, now okay. Now, Matt just asked me what inspired me to have a YouTube channel in the first place. Okay, basically, the inspiration, believe it or not, it came from Denise Gonzalez. I have been a supporter on her platform for almost 2 years, and I
Yeah.
have shared my point of view um, regarding certain subjects. So then she said to me, "Why do I want to create my own channel?" And it's like, me? People want to listen to me? Okay. And I see here we have Multi in the chat. Good evening, Multi. Thank you very much for stopping by. So
What's up,
so
Monty?
you know what? Okay, you know what? You know what? You know, I'll okay. I'll do a YouTube and the first thing I needed to
Need to
do
pull up on the hit the link,
was
Monty.
discover what's going to be. Well, the first thing I had to do was discover what's going to be my personal niche because everyone has their own niche. Okay, so I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to focus on everyday issues because no one talks about it. No one. And and I know that for some people, I'm not their cup of tea. Oh well, too bad. Okay, I'm not the cup of tea. I'm not supposed to be a okay, and we just lost Irby. And I see here we also have Donna Mondo in the chat. Good evening. Well, first of all, thank you very much all for stopping by. The link is in the chat. Okay. I got it. I got it. I got it. But for the benefit of those of you who are just him, the theme for tonight is let the circus be the circus. Okay, because look, when I think about all the crazy stuff that's been going on in these YouTube streams, um, I shake my head. I really, really do, and it's like, are these people that bored? Are these people that whatever that they cannot come up with anything constructive to say, but they keep repeating the same thing again? And, yeah, okay. You know what? It seems like everybody's having a stream tonight. Well, you know what? Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, but you know what? That is a serious topic. Okay, but I know for a fact Malty has a stream tonight, and I'm sure she's gonna have a few opinions to say regarding all this. Oh, maybe, but I do appreciate you. You stopping by. Okay, Um, but the whole point of this training is for me just to say what's on my mind. And the fact of the matter is, um, it's not all that serious. I mean, if people are not fighting over terminology, they're fighting over, well, you should not go there. You should not go there. You should not invite these people in your platform. And it's like, why are we doing all this? Where is the logic? Or I'm sorry, I'm forgetting. Don't use logic this time. Okay, and but I'm gonna keep this string going for a little bit. I'll drop it one more time. If no one else wants to join in, I'm gonna start to wrap it up. It's just that um, I could have just as easily discussed this on my stream tomorrow night regarding open discussion, but the problem is this needed by itself, and it just that it boggles my mind because here we are in 2023, and people are still talking about the same crap that was being said in 2022 and 2021. Okay, which leads me to ask a rhetorical question. If you're not going to create a platform where you're going to actually engage in content, all you're going to do is reaction videos and whatnot. Okay. All right. It's getting, after a while, it gets stale. It really does. And people will say what they want to say about me. That I'm this, that I'm that, I'm old, I'm senile. But I am simply trying to create a safe space for everyone to share their point of view. Okay. And one thing I do have to talk about um, what happened on my platform regarding the Al Show and Gigi. And unfortunately, I had a problem with my audio, which means I couldn't intervene and say what I needed to say. Okay. But when everything is said, um, I'm trying to create a safe space for everyone to say their point of view. Now, what I may have to do is I may have to think about it a little bit. I mean, I may have to think about some sort of limitation. I don't want to do that um, because I don't want to mute people. I don't time people out. I don't want to have to put people in the backstage. Okay. And for the most part, I've been able to get away from doing that. But I'm going to have to start thinking about that. Okay. And if it offends some people, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm just trying to create a safe space. And it just so happens that I'm cool with a lot of people who have beefs with each other. Okay. And I know that for a while. So I just simply made the decision. Uh, I'm going to be neutral. I'm not going to take sides. However, if I see anyone um, getting viciously attacked, I'm going to step in and I'm going to request that people please chill out. Okay. And if I have to, if I'm going to have to do what I have to do. Okay. And to be honest, it gets tiring after a while. It really, really does get tiring. Okay. And I can understand why some people choose not to get involved with these channels. Uh, but I am not going to give up. I'm going to continue to focus on being the best version of myself. I'm going to continue to produce content which will. Okay, well, thank you for stopping by, Irby. Take care and be safe out there. Thank you very much. But I do appreciate the fact that there's 14 people watching this stream. Okay. Uh, and I see here we also have the presence of Future. Thank you very much for stopping by. Oh, before I just let everybody know that Anthony, Future, and Don Armando have their own channels. So I'm going to ask you to do if when you have an opportunity, please check out their content and consider subscribing to their channels. Okay, and I see here we also have the presence of defrauding Charlotte. Good evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. Okay, so uh, I'm going to put the link again. Um, if anyone wishes to join in, by all means do so. Um, I basically have said more or less what I wanted to say. It wasn't, to be honest, it wasn't meant to be a structured stream. It's just that I just wanted to say what's on my mind regarding all this um, back and forth arguing and on and on and on and on. And it's just, okay, let me just take care of this. And I see we got, okay. Just give me a moment. Okay. Okay. Good evening. Whoops. Good evening.
Hey, Jose, how you doing?
Okay, this is going to be one of those. Okay. Good evening.
Hey, could you hear me?
Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Good evening.
Open the door, man. Open the door. It's me. What's up? What's up, Jose? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So what's on your mind?
I mean, hey man, it does seem like everybody is coming at each other now. It's funny because it's like you would think this would have happened like in December. Well, it kind of did, but we thought that was gonna get left in last year, but doesn't seem so, right? So yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate, see everybody going at each other, but like I told Magic in the chat, like sometimes I understand you gotta respond. I get that, right? But some people just want attention, you know, to try to build their channels at the
Yeah.
expense, of other
So
people of the same mixture.
so that's the reason why I chose the topic. Let the circus be the circus.
It just seems to me now that just YouTube is just a circus in general, unfortunately. It's hard to just make content that's just like drama, drama free. Even in politics, it's all
Just
drama.
one moment,
It's all
Anthony. Just one moment. Thank you. It just became a YouTube creator almost a year and a half ago. I never thought all this was going to happen.
yeah, sucks. Let me ask you, Jose,
Yeah.
sometimes does it entertain you or is it always just bad? Like, do you think it's just always no good?
Okay. I don't mind it. I don't mind it once in a while, but when it gets to be repetitive, it gets old and stale.
Yeah. I mean, what I don't
Okay.
like is people trying to like come at people for no reason. Like that's the thing I don't like. Like, there's no real reason for you to come at some person, but you're gonna, do it anyway. I don't like that.
Yeah. See, that's and I know there's just some people that
Even even
point
even
is I'm
future
not
in
going.
the
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying
I'm
like
sorry.
even you have people in the chat like future coming to start trouble. And it's unfortunate. Like I came in and I agree. I never knew that it was gonna be
Well,
like this, at least in the mixed spaces. But it's worse than what I saw in like those pro black spaces. Like it's crazy. It's like 20 people, trying to rip each other's throats out. Like.
yeah. And then meanwhile, you have one individual who constantly illustrating the narrative that I'm an old, senile white guy.
What did
Okay.
why did they start coming after you
First of
though?
all,
Like
I'm
what is
Latino. Okay,
Yeah,
I
I don't know
think
why they
part of
come
it
to you.
because I think part of it because I'm okay with Gigi and Holte. Part of it.
That might, yeah, maybe. That's another thing I saw in these spaces. Like if
Yeah.
certain people see, and it's not on
Well,
any side. I've seen both sides do it. If you like somebody or you're cool with somebody, they don't like that.
okay. But you know what, Anthony? I've said this before, and I'm going to keep on saying it again. If you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. I don't care whether you be black, white, mixed, gay, whatever. I don't care. Okay, I'm too old to be dealing with three. And the fact of the matter, this whole concept that the enemy of your enemy is your friend, I'm sorry, that's plain stupid.
Yeah, yeah. It's a mess. It's a circus, like you said. It's definitely a circus. I mean, did you see Bluish's stream? He just went all out, man. I was like, whoa. I don't know. It's just a lot of divisiveness I see.
Yeah,
You know, shit.
yeah. Look, look. The fact of the matter is this: with all the overtime I'm working 75 hours per week. Plus, I'm working on two platforms. So you think I'm gonna waste any time with the circus? Anthony?
No, I mean, I wouldn't assume so. No. Yeah, too many of us are too busy. Like, I can't catch every stream myself, you know. So if somebody writes me and says, "Hey, this guy said something about you," I mean, most likely I don't care, but I don't have time to be looking on everyone's stream to see what they're saying. These streams are 2, 3 hours long sometimes, And like you, like I'm a busy person. I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
But I don't like all the
And this
divisive talk.
and this
Makes it hard to unite.
okay. But you know what's the problem? Okay. If you cannot unite within your own separate subgroup, you cannot unite in general, period.
Yeah, I agree completely. And it's sad, like in a space like this, you would think like, oh, look, a lot of mixed people found each other, but then it's like, okay, instead of uniting, it's like, okay, let's all attack each other. From what I see, it's just an attack like of ideologies. Ideologies are kind of conflicting with each other, so people are just, they don't like that. They want us all to be the same, and people are different. People have different experiences, different beliefs. So naturally, I guess there's going to be some conflict, but it should never get real serious.
Yeah. Because look, last year when I did my stream um, regarding feminism, um, Hybrid took issue to that issue, and instead of addressing me directly, chose to pick another person to address it through. If you have a conflict with something, if you have a conflict, what I do, you direct your concerns to me. Don't go. I don't want to hear it through a third party.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I'm a big proponent of like people. If you got something to say against somebody, you should be able to address that person directly.
Salamandra.
You should be able to address
Yeah,
that person direct.
I agree.
You know, I don't like that. I think it's
But
like even like I
you
said
know
with
the
Bluish's
saying.
stream, he's calling these names, and I'm like, okay, why don't you post the link? Why don't you go to those people and talk to them directly? Maybe you can resolve it. Maybe you can't. But to just talk junk about somebody and then kind of like, you know what I mean, in the safety of your own house, kind of just log off, like, oh, I said what I said, even if it's divisive, I don't care. It just shows that maybe you don't really want there to be any unity. You just want to entertain the circus, right? The drama. You want to entertain it and capitalize off it by getting views, but you don't really want to, see anybody come together. Like, because if you did, you would post a link. Like, I would never talk junk about people on my live and not post a link for them to come up and at least defend themselves, and then maybe we could, piece it up, or maybe we could just it just might get ugly, but at least I'm not gonna hide. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna do that. It's just cowardly to me.
Yeah, but you know how. But you know, it's kind of discouraging that this is getting a lot of views. I mean, okay, and we just lost Anthony. Okay, I'm gonna put the link one more time. Hopefully he can join. He can join in. But look, okay. Well, you know what, Don Armando, just be mindful. Um, those type of actions do create come with consequences. Um, I'm not gonna lie. Some of these people, um, you know, they may appear to want to get okay. 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 No problem. Good evening. Okay. Whoops. Good evening, Al. Oh boy, this is gonna be one of those.
Uh, uh, a third time. Hello, how are you? No. So,
Good evening, Al.
good evening. How are you? Well, here's the thing. Here's what I would say. I've been
Hello
in the
again.
biracial for about a year per se. I guess over a year in terms of overall presence.
Okay.
I don't know what the biracial spaces were like before with what used to be called the golden sphere. I can only attest to what I'm seeing now, right? There are always going to be people that don't get along.
Okay.
They're going to have these conflicts. They're going to be disagreements. They're going to be
Hmm.
what I call fights, slights, and gripes, right? As far as I see in this
Yeah.
space, I don't really think it's as bad as people think it is. I think they think it's bad probably because they come from other spaces where there isn't a lot of conflict. Maybe, I don't know. But compared to what I've seen elsewhere, this is mild. And I've said this at least once before, but
Hmm.
this is mild compared to what I've seen before. And so I look at what's going on here and I'm going,
Hmm.
yeah, there's there are some kerfuffles, if you want to call it that. There are some, there's certainly some disagreements. Let's be brutally honest. I don't agree with some people.
Hmm.
Um,
Yes.
I'll be upfront about
Hmm.
that, and I think that's obvious. But compared to other spaces and other parts of YouTube, I really don't see what goes on in this space as horrible.
Hey, how
But
you doing?
for other people, I don't know. Maybe it's different. I don't know.
Yeah, how you doing,
Hmm.
guys?
Hello, how are you?
Okay. Good
I'm
evening,
all
Don
right.
Armando.
I'm just chilling. I'm about to start my stream in a little bit about police violence. So I'm just not gonna be
Okay.
here long, but I'm just
Let's
making my
try this
presence
again.
be known and everything like that.
Yeah, I see. You know, um,
Yeah.
it's so.
So
What
how
do
you
you
doing
think
tonight?
about the?
I'm doing okay.
Okay. So
But then I
the
saw
top.
that he was
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
a punk anyways. And yeah, and the thing is though, it's like on other spaces, I'm talking about Clubhouse and TikTok. This guy had called him out for his actions. So therefore, this is what he does. Call him out for his action, and then try to get up. And me personally, he actually he could say that, oh yeah, he's a big person. And second of all of his, so a lot of people have called him out on his crap. With that said, he's not in fact, when the fact is he's sheep. So that's
Yeah. Um, the reason why I chose Circus Beat the Circus, I just wanted to give my 2 cents regarding all this been going on, because it's been multiple things. First of all, there's been arguments regarding certain terminology being used, and then
with that said,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
is that they're just
Okay.
like you got
Sounds like he's borging. Sounded like he was borging. I don't know what happened, but
Yeah, he seemed to be having some trouble with his audio. You might have to come. Okay, you might have to come back again, because but to be perfectly honest, when I decided to air this stream, I didn't think it would get that much attention, but I was wrong.
maybe there are some fans of Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey.
Now, I did see Mulatto Vanguard's stream, of which you are here. Oh, I'm going to say that I respectfully disagree, but both of you are entitled to your point of view.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I think that stream speaks for itself, and people want to find out about it, they can go there and see it. As for, I think, again, getting to what I can only speak to what I see in the spaces. So maybe my perspective is different from yours and from other people's. I see in the space is, I think, a modest amount of wrangling and disagreement and fighting to a certain extent. And to me, I look at it and I go, I've seen worse elsewhere. I've seen absolute scorched earth, destructive stuff elsewhere. And so when I look at this, I said, for me, it's, I consider it mild. But for other people, they may come from a more peaceful space. I guess there are those out there, and they're not used to it. So I think people's perspectives would vary as to what a circus is and whether this is a circus or not. I happen to think it's not. I just think you have a number of people who disagree with each other. You have some arguments, some fights, and some people who slight each other. And but I will say one thing that I said last night on the stream, and I'll say this: what I found with the spaces, the biracial spaces, is that I think people who don't fit or who behave inappropriately or who act in ways that are unbecoming people in the space don't usually seem to last long in these spaces. And that I think is a good thing. I think it's good when a space can regulate itself and it can deal with disturbances and deal with people that are creating havoc and creating certain things. And I think that's something that has happened recently here, and I applaud it. And I certainly, well, not just applaud it, I approve of it. So just my 50 cents about that, I guess.
When you say people who do not fit, take your words out of the other context. How? I mean, in what sense does that apply?
It applies, I guess it would vary. Every space on YouTube has either its standards. I'll use the term they use for television censors, what they would say in the networks, standards and practices, right? Every space has either standards and practices and has its own standards and practices. For some spaces, their standards and practices are absolutely no standards and absolutely no practices. So they don't regulate themselves. They don't have any sense of what is proper or what is improper, what is allowed, what isn't allowed. I mean, I know of such a space where basically anything goes. And there are other spaces where there are very clear lines of demarcation and very clear standards and practices. You can't do this, you can't do that. So this will vary depending on the space. And what people do in one space may not fit in another. So when it comes to fit, it would vary depending on the space that you're in. It depends as to whether a person fits in that space or not.
Okay. So, which leads me to my question. Who determines who does not?
From what I've seen in this space, in the biracial spaces, it seems to be more of a collective decision. So I don't think you have a leader in this space, a shot caller, a boss, a factotum, whatever. You don't have somebody who says, okay, this is the way things go, or a committee, or a star chamber, so to speak. Well, maybe you do have a star chamber. Maybe there's a sort of star chamber. I don't know. But it seems to be more of a collective decision in this space from what I have seen. That's what I have seen. I don't see a particular leader or person who exerts so much influence that everybody steps along. Right. So I don't see that in this space. It seems more of a collective. If enough people say, hey, this person doesn't fit, so they got to quit, then that seems to be what occurs from what I've seen.
Now, you have been reported, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I'm just simply stating as is. It's been reported that you have stated to Gigi that she's fired. Can you explain yourself?
Well, I think the statement explains itself, and that's a statement. That's all it is. And it was just
Interesting.
a kind of agreement with a lot of other content creators. I think some people liked what I said in that and kind of took it and said, "Hey, love that, it works," and so forth. So that kind of got a life beyond it. So, but for me, that was just agreeing with what others in the space had said. I'm just chiming in and saying, "Yeah, that's what I agree. You're fired."
Okay. Well, you have your right to your point of view. I will defend your point of view. I don't share your point of view, but you have a right to it.
Sorry, the phone had rang, so I don't want that on the
Okay.
being heard.
You
But
want me to repeat
yeah,
what I just said?
I heard what you said. Right, you're taking the position, the sort of Voltaire position, right? I don't agree, or at least attributed to him. Um, I don't agree with what you say, but I will fight for your right to defend it. So at least that's been attributed to him. So for me, yeah,
Hmm.
that's fine. Like I said, I don't find this space to be a circus. I think, again, it depends on your point of view. It also depends on where you've been around on YouTube. I've seen other spaces that I would consider a circus. I don't consider the biracial spaces a circus. I just don't. Based on what I've seen, it actually has a
Okay.
degree of order here, and the people care enough to say what they feel, whether you agree with it or not. And I think in the case of certain content creators, the other content creators here have taken action, and I agree with their action. I support their action. That's what I'll say about it.
Okay. And you have every right to hold whatever position that you hold. I'm not going to denigrate you for that. It's just I hold a different position. That's all.
I appreciate you being fair. I will say that. I
Hmm.
appreciate you being fair, right? So
Hmm.
that, and I think people should note that. I think people in the space should note that and note, and at
Hmm.
least give that degree of aspect of credit there. That's what I think, right? Don't have to agree with everybody. You don't have to be on board with everybody, but you know, again, like I said, I'm not going to go into what I said last night because people can go to that stream and they can check that out. But in regards to the topic, I will say that the
Hmm.
topic to me, again, I don't view this space as a circus. I really don't. And I think it's actually a lot more orderly
Okay.
and structured. And it does things that are beneficial for biracial people and mixed race people to a certain extent. And so I don't find it to be a circus. Could it
Hmm.
evolve into a circus? Yes, it could. But that really depends on the content creators and the people and what they decide to do.
When I use the term "let the circus be the circus," I'm referring to individuals, and it could be in any sphere or in any group or any faction, um, that for whatever reason, does not function in a logical way. That constantly beefing with others and constantly repeating the same issues multiple times. So when I'm referring to the circus as a circus, I'm referring to the biracial community as a whole, because there are great people in the biracial and mixed community. They are. Okay. I'm just referring to those individuals in as a collective that, for whatever reason, are not able to conduct themselves in a mature manner.
Well, okay, I see. So you're not referring to a space specifically, you're just referring to any space and individuals within any space. Am I right about saying that?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I've been around a space before I came to the biracial spaces. I was around a space where, you know, there was so much beef. There was so much beef that you could open up a McDonald's and or an In-N-Out Burger for that
Hmm.
matter, depending on where you are in the country. And personally, from my
Hmm.
point of view, I don't really understand the psychology, from a personal point of view. I don't understand the psychology of people who constantly engage, that are constantly difficult, that are constantly seeking to aggravate others and to be aggressive toward others and combative toward others and to fight all the time. I've seen it in another space. I've seen a little of it here, not a lot of it. I don't understand those people because to me, they don't seem like happy people. They seem like dissatisfied people, angry people who need an
Hmm.
outlet for their anger, for their dissatisfaction, for their
Hmm.
frustration, and for their rage. And it's sad, but it has to do with them. It's their problem. It's their issue. And no, I can't imagine
Hmm.
constantly going on panels and fighting all the time. That just seems like a downer to me. It just seems like
Hmm.
it's like a loser mentality to me. Like I never go on panels to fight. I've had people try to fight me on panels, and people don't get that when I go on a panel. I'm not necessarily in a good mood, but I'm not necessarily in a bad. And so when people get upset or they try to scream and yell and do stuff at me, they're the ones who have the emotional issue, the problems, and all of that. And I don't.
Hmm. Okay. I see.
Yeah, you know,
Well, one
it
thing
just
that, okay,
inside.
good.
Oh, so I was just gonna
Um,
finish up by saying, so when I have people come on and try to yell and scream as I have elsewhere, not in this space per se, but elsewhere, I haven't had any problem remaining cool, calm, and
mhm,
collected, comfortable because I don't have the aggravation, I don't have the issues, I don't have the problems. So, I mean, we all have problems, but I don't have. I'm not. I don't have any emotions. I mean, I hate to put it this way, but it's almost like being like Spock in
mhm,
Star Trek. Literally, when I'm on these panels, it's like, oh, you're upset. I'm not. You maintain a kind of logical, rational deportment and demeanor about yourself. At least I do. And so it's like, oh, okay, you're upset. How interesting.
mhm,
Uh, Fascinating. And what do you want me to do about it? Uh, it's I mean, that's been my perspective because I don't go on a panel either upset. I go on a panel kind of weird. I've never expressed it this way, but what I notice is I don't go on a panel in anything other than a neutral fashion. I'm not angry. I'm not happy. I'm not unhappy. I'm not, you know, completely joyful. I don't have any emotional attachment when I go on a panel. It's just about what's the topic, let's talk. For the most part, that's the way that I go on panels. And some people, I guess, because of their issues, they want to go on panels and they want to start fighting with whoever they have an issue or a problem with. And I've seen that in another space. And it's like, the thing I always wonder is, how do you, why are you on, I mean, how do I put this? Why bother being on YouTube if what you're doing is showing yourself in this fashion? Because you just don't seem happy. If all people get of you is you scream at people and you yell at people and you try to attack people or roast them or whatever, you know, it just doesn't seem like a good use of your time. You could be better off doing something that makes you satisfied and comfortable and of course happy, but at least content.
Okay.
That's just my view. I mean, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm always
Um,
amazed. People think like therapy, they'll get their anger off. I don't know. But
excuse me, Irby, I just want to say thank you very much for stopping by. Please know that you're always welcome here. Um, you know, this is your cyber home. So, um, and look, like I said before, I decided to discuss this matter after tonight. I'm not going to discuss it. I'm going to discuss it again because I got a lot of other topics that I would talk about. Some of them have to do with mental health issues, and also I'm trying to produce content which enlightens and educates, and some people can get some enjoyment out of.
well, you have different topics on your platform, so it's never. I don't think it's ever the same. Well, of course, you did the toxic relationships to part two of that, but outside of that, maybe and a couple others, it's usually not the same topic twice. So it's always a different topic. So
Mhm. Well, I try to keep it. I try. Okay, so but it's fair to say it's fair to say, Al, that you do have um considerable people that do take issue with you, and they perceive that they have legitimate griefs.
well, their perceptions are incorrect. They don't have any legitimate. Well, they could have gripes with me. They're not legitimate, but they can have gripes. So again, I'm not terribly interested in the point of view of people that are opposed to me. I'm really not. Um, if people want to express them or they want to express it, fine, but I'm not terribly interested. Um, I think at the end of the day, I want to continue doing what I'm doing in terms of not only my channel, but of course, being in the biracial spaces. I like seeing constructive and productive discussions, conversations, videos, live streams done. That's what I like in this space. Outside of that, it's not interesting.
Okay, fair enough. I devoted almost 2 hours to the discussion. I think I'm going to stop to wrap this up. Um, do you have any final remarks that you wish to add?
Yeah. Um, I don't view this space as a circus. There may be people in it that could fit in a circus. And when it comes to a circus, the only thing that I would be able to do is be the ringmaster and introduce the acts. That would be it. And on that note, I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, thank you very much for stopping by. Um, Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my final remarks. I know there's a lot of people are still watching this, and I just want to say thank you very much. Um, it's just that when everything is said and done, I felt that I needed to air my point of view. I want to make this perfectly clear. I'm not saying that the biracial and multiracial community is a circus. I am referring to those individuals in multiple groups who do not conduct themselves in a logical, peaceful manner, creating havoc. Okay? And believe me, in the Latino community, we have plenty of people who are part of the circus. Okay, as far as mixed people's concerned, I've met a lot of people, and a lot of them are great people. Those people know how I feel about them, so I just want to make that perfectly clear. And everyone is entitled to their point of view. Al has a point of view. He's entitled to his point of view. I don't share his point of view, but he's entitled to his point of view. Okay. And I just want to thank everyone for appearing on the chat. I want to thank everyone who appeared on the panel. After tonight, I am not going to discuss this any further. I have said all that needed to be said, and the different parties have expressed their point of view, and okay. What I'm gonna do is focus on me and being the best version of me. Okay. And I'm gonna be cool with those who are cool with me. Okay. And if anyone has any issue with anyone that I choose to associate with, that is your problem. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Gigi. And I hope you do see, I hope you saw that I did try to keep it fair. Um, and again, a lot of what Al said, I don't hold that belief, but he's entitled to his beliefs. Thank you very much, Defraud and Charlatan. And again, after tonight, I'm not going to discuss this. Okay, I am not going to discuss this because this has gotten so 2022. So, and with that being said, I would appreciate those who go to watch the stream in the playback. Please hit the like button, and if you have not done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay. Uh, I just want to say, you know what? Bless their hearts. Bless their hearts. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm sure Multi is going to have a few words regarding this later tonight. And I'm sure you, Gigi, you're going to have some interesting words as well. Well, Deb, yes, thank you very much, Gigi, for stopping. Well, with that being said, I want to let everybody know that I'm going to be live tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to be another round of open discussion. You know what? I could have waited until tomorrow night to share this. I decided, you know what? Okay. You know what? I just decided that I just wanted it to devote a separate stream just to this issue. Believe me, I am not going to discuss this again. That being said, oh my great. Okay. You know what? I gotta admit, excuse me, my computer is acting slow. Okay. That being said, all I'm gonna say is let's be good to each other. Okay. Okay. Just give me a moment. My computer is come on. My computer. Okay. So that being said, this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Nicon. Wishing you good night and have and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.
Be strong.